What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 301 of the Atlantic Files. And this week, before we get into our topics, we just want to take and give a moment of silence for Warriors coach Dejan Milojevic, who passed away at the unfortunate age of 46 due to a heart attack while being out to dinner with the team. So we want to give a quick moment of silence for that. So everybody join us in that real quick. Thank you. We want to say rest in peace, and we want to give prayers and our thoughts out to his family and friends for the tragic incident that occurred. So, as I said, we have some topics, and we are welcoming Dmitry Bergen from the Loose Ball Boys onto the show this week. And we're talking Pascal Siakam's trade to the Pacers. We're talking the Wizards releasing or waiving Ryan Rollins because of stealing from Target, allegedly. We're talking about Erik Spoelstra signing a contract after a divorce, and plenty more. So, without further ado, let's get into episode 301.
Welcome to the Atlantic Files, where humor and vibes collide. Nets and Sixers, the king of the court. Jokes that hit you one more. Atlantic Division, we own the scene. Comedy, food talk, every routine. Mike Bash, Clausen, Fischbein on the mic, making you laugh every episode right. Game is strong, court to kitchen. We're never wrong. You know what time it is. It's time for the Atlantic Files.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Atlantic Files, the number one podcast on the number one division in the NBA, brought to you by the Underdog Sports Podcast Network. As always, joined by your host, myself, Alex Fischbein, Dennis Clausen, and we are welcoming the one, the only Dmitry Bergen from the Loose Ball Boys. What's going on, Dmitry?
What's up, guys? Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Been a big fan of your pod ever since I found you on the threads. I'm like, hell yeah. I landed the spot.
He sounds like such a man. Hey,
Of course he is.
What are you? You said you were Russian, right?
Yeah, I'm half Ukrainian, half Russian.
What a man! Listen to that
Yeah,
accent.
fighting bears in my childhood.
Right.
It's exactly how it comes off. It just comes off as, even though you're drinking Maker's Mark, it comes off as vodka and fighting bears.
Yeah, I think I'm joking because I work in the restaurant business, and I joke with a lot of people like, you didn't drink vodka? I'm like, probably had too much of it, like back in the teen days, like way too much of it. I cannot stand vodka, believe it or not.
I mean, I don't blame you at all, because I'm definitely not a vodka person. I think the only time I really ever drank vodka was probably in college because it was dirt cheap.
Exactly. See, yeah.
Did your mother like put it in your bottle when you were a kid?
I was bathed in vodka 3 times a day.
You know it. What a man!
Exactly. And that's, I mean, it's just, that's the pinnacle of this show. That's probably not the right word, but like, we got food talk, we got crazy joke talk, and now we got Russians with bathing in vodka. Russian Ukraine bathing in vodka. That's just how it goes. But to start things off, we want to say welcome to the show, Dmitry. And
Thank you.
I was telling Dennis that I met you through Threads, through the NBA Threads community. It's a great community over there, over at Threads. I mean, a whole bunch of supportive people that all just...
You're so full of shit. You met him through a BDSM website. And you guys hooked up. Quit knocking off. Nobody's here to judge you. Nobody's listening anyways. Who cares?
Before podcast, we agreed that we're not getting into personal stuff. Like, come on, dude.
Like, come on. That was a before the show conversation.
Yeah, come on.
Not on the show.
Read
I
the
don't know
notes.
that was personal. That's a personal question. No, you're acting like I asked your bank account information. Which, if you want to give it to me, send it. But
Oh
Sure,
yeah,
I'll
well
text
it's
it to
one. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, he is Russian, so who the hell knows? He's probably tapping in right now and stealing our stuff. So who knows?
That's my Nigerian friend. He's the Nigerian prince kind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the guys you wanna. Yeah, we usually health insurance stuff, any kind of insurance. Like, let me hop on your car real quick and let's get the big payout.
Exactly. So what I wanted to ask was, how did the Loose Ball Boys come about? How did you start to be a Brooklyn Nets fan? Because I know you're a Brooklyn Nets guy as well.
Yeah.
I mean, all NBA as well, but I know you're a Brooklyn Nets guy, just like Dennis. Our other guy, Mike, who is at a Rutgers game at the moment, he's also a Brooklyn Nets guy. So I seem to attract Brooklyn Nets people. I'm not sure why, but that's how it goes.
It's all Ben Simmons' curse.
That's what brings us all together, is Ben.
Yeah, Ben Simmons. So I started watching basketball when I was like 6, 7, still in Ukraine, and I remember watching the last shot Michael Jordan taken against the Utah, and I'm like, yeah, I love basketball. I opened up today on the threads that I'm also F1 fan, and people are like losing their shit over it. I'm like, I didn't know that's a thing now for a lot of people, but basketball been always part of me, like I always loved watching it. I've been hopping through the team from team to team, but when we moved to Brooklyn from Ukraine, I'm like, we have a team. I moved to Brooklyn exactly in 2010, so I'm like, we have a team here. So that's seemed like the most logical way to go. I attended plenty of games, and I used to work actually around Barclays Center, and I was working like a lot from home, so I would go there with my laptop. There was a Starbucks, maybe you guys remember, at Barclays. Right now it's some kind of pizzeria, but that Barclay had an entrance on the right, and on the left you had Starbucks, and you would sit at the Starbucks behind, like all the way down by the wall. The wall was glass, and you could see one of the basketball courts. And later in time, I realized and found out that that court is one of their practice courts.
Ah, okay.
So I would see some basketball players. I'm like, that's Jared Allen. I'm watching Jared Allen play ball for free right now. And I've been a basketball fan since, but Nets is kind of like in my heart. I spent over 10 years in Brooklyn, so kind of grew up basically partially, like good half of a life spent in Brooklyn. Then
You like White
COVID
Castle?
hit. No, I'm a more of a Sonic Five Guys guy. Sorry.
All right, on that note,
Am I kicked out? Yeah, thanks. Bye.
I do not eat that pussy White Castle.
I actually never had a White Castle besides the frozen one from like you can buy in the store. Never had like actual legit White Castle.
Listen, pal, if you're in America, you're in Brooklyn, you got to start living the right way here, okay? One of those things is you got to get over to White Castle.
I'll make sure I think I'm gonna be there around April, maybe sooner than that, because Lexi's cooking something up from threads for like meet up with the basketball game, so I might be for that. I'm gonna take you up on that. I'm gonna go join some White Castle.
Definitely. I mean, I know I talked to you about it before, but yeah, we had a good conversation about White Castle in the last episode.
Before that first bite, before I need, I'll give you my number or whatever, you FaceTime me. I want to see you take that first bite. And that's when you know. America, fucking health insurance, fuck 401k, fuck freedom, White Castle.
White Castle all the way.
That's how you know you made it.
Is that gonna be the episode of Squidward when he tries the Krusty Krab burger for the first time?
Yes.
Remember? And
yes.
he's like, holy shit. That's the stuff.
And Dennis is gonna be like SpongeBob, where he's like, "You love Krabby Patties, don't you?"
I'll have to move back to New York then. Don't worry.
You fucking young guys, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'll send you the episode.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
one of the
good.
best
I take
ones.
your word for it.
Where's your daughter? She probably knows. Sorry, go ahead.
Right after COVID, my wife and I moved to Myrtle Beach because her relatives live here, and we're like, New York is expensive as hell. Everything shut down. This is South. This is Republican state. Nothing has got shut down here for longer than like 2 weeks. So I landed back in the restaurant business, and my friend, well, we kind of became friends at work. we were talking. We realized that we're talking about basketball at work more than about the actual work. I shouldn't be saying this live because my boss is probably watching it. I sent
Yeah,
love to
fuck
her.
him. Fuck your boss.
So we were like, you know what? Let's try and do something with it, and I don't know, kind of like do the podcast or whatever. And we were watching Celtics game. He's a huge Celtics fan. And I'm Brooklyn fan. We're like, yeah, I know. And we're like, hey, we both shared the Kyrie drama, you know, like it's a perfect kind of like back and forth balance. And we were watching the Celtics game, and there was like loose ball foul. I'm like, these fucking loose ball idiots. And he's like, loose ball idiots. I'm like, loose ball boys. And that's how we come up with the name just through the game. And we're like, out of nowhere, just started recording, and slowly, bit by bit, it helped us a lot because the first episode came out right before the trade deadline. So the first few episodes, like, we had a legit full episode, and then we had like 3 or 4 emergency pods back to back to back because Kyrie got traded, then something else happened, then something else happened. Then I told you that we recorded a podcast, posted it, and literally the same night KD got traded from Brooklyn, like at 3 a.m. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why this is happening after you record something, not before? I was so thankful actually that Siakam got traded before we recording this. I'm like, Lord,
Yeah, seriously.
give us something to talk about.
Just do what we do. Wait till next week.
I mean, that's what I usually do now. I'm like, I haven't recorded for 3 weeks now. I'm like, I'm kind of rusty today. It's like I got sick,
got
then
you,
a
pal.
bunch of other people got sick, then a bunch of stuff at work. Everybody's getting sick. I'm like, yeah, I'm not feeling like recording at all, you know.
You don't get sick though. Your people don't get sick. Fuck.
Oh, I've gotten
I do not
sick
get
this.
sick.
We're always sick in the head though.
Just different kind of sick.
Yeah. But then, unfortunately, Sydney, my co-host, had to move out from, like, just move on from a podcast, just a bunch of personal stuff in school and this and that, and he couldn't, like, keep up with it, and he just asked to be out. And I kind of took a hiatus, didn't do anything. They recorded a few episodes by myself, and it clicked.
Okay.
And I kept recording by myself ever since. So kind of like,
I
it's
feel
weird talking to people.
No, I agree. I mean,
I agree.
this podcast started with just me. So it took me until probably like episode, I don't know, 70 to 80, somewhere in there, that Mike finally joined. And then Mike left, and then Mike came back, and then we got Dennis, and then it's been that way ever since. So it's
Looks
definitely
like Dennis is
weird
not
going
really happy
from
that he was found.
I was like, leave me alone. What did
Dennis
I do
is
to
just
you?
mad that I got Mike first before meeting Dennis.
Jealous.
You didn't know any better.
I mean, yeah, I didn't know you yet. The best thing Mike's done is get me and you together.
Right.
But
What
so
a fucking man, though, this Dmitry is.
that's gonna be the reoccurring thing.
Yeah, you should change the name of a pod to what a fucking man this Dmitry is.
Dmitry is the man. That's the whole name
The
of the
man.
podcast.
That's why, like, and like Russian women too were like, I know I've talked to a couple. Like, I had a dentist who is Russian, and
Oh, you're
even
lucky.
when she comes in and tells me that my teeth look good, it's like she's still yelling at me, which I don't know if I like it or if I'm scared or if it's both. But either way, she's like, you got good teeth. Your teeth look good. Okay, you fucking keep it up. And I'm like, was she
Is that a
yelling
good
at
thing?
me? I was like, you want
it
to
a
talk about it some
sarcasm?
more, honey? We're good. We could talk.
People ask me.
They got my floss right here.
People are asking me like, why you got married to a Russian one? I'm like, 'cause they're the best. Then chaotic energy, you know. Exactly that. You don't know if she yells at you or she loves you. Like, the fuck is going on?
Is it really? It's really like that, isn't it?
Yeah, energy is totally like that. It's fun.
I don't know if
Hey,
that was a good
no
woof
comment.
or a bad woof.
Yeah, I don't know because I really don't know. Like, I've never, been in that neck of the woods in any way. if you know what I mean. So I have nothing to compare it to, but I'm
mean,
sure they, any Russian woman that ever saw me, like especially with my shirt off, probably wouldn't be too impressed.
you're like, hit the gym.
Yeah, you fat piece of shit, spitting on me.
My one of our like architects of our software is Russian, and one of the like first few weeks I started at my job, he was like, "Oh, are you Russian too, Fischbein?" I'm like, "No, not Russian at all. I'm actually like part Hungarian, part German, so definitely not Russian." And he goes, I thought I had somebody to speak Russian to. I was like, definitely don't know any Russian at all.
They love it, especially here. Like, God forbid they find out that you're Russian in the South. That's it. Like, they will completely pretend that don't know any fucking English, and they will do exactly the same. And the only way they're gonna talk to you if you're talking to them Russian or nothing at all. And it's crazy, kind of, to me. Like, especially when you're around people and they start yelling at you, because that's what you hear. That's all Americans hear, is like, what the fuck are they yelling at each other when we're having a lovely conversation?
Yeah, Americans are impressive.
Impressive in what way?
We're not.
Not impressive.
No, zero.
I was about to say, I was like, not from my experience.
No, not really.
But so when it came to like the loose ball boys, I saw you and Dennis actually have something in common, sort of. You have a connection through Richard Jefferson. So
Really?
Dennis was interviewed by Richard Jefferson at a Nets game.
What? That's sick.
Dennis, Dimitri's podcast, I think it was it a tweet or a post?
So it was one of the first days. So basically, Twitter, X, whatever you want to fucking call it, the cesspool, was going down and down faster and faster. And I'm like, and threats came out, and I'm immediately hopped on. Like, the first day it just came out, I created the account, but I wasn't there active as much, because Twitter was still kind of way to go and nobody yet even created accounts. And Richard Jefferson was just like doing a bunch of crazy stuff, and he's like, send me your funniest pictures in the threads. And instead of like sending something like a meme, which I have, 70% of my phone pictures is my cat, 30% are memes, 29 are memes, and 1% is my wife. Shouldn't be saying that live either, but I'm like, no, I'm not gonna send a meme. I'm gonna plug our pod. So that's literally what I did. I'm like, I'm gonna shamelessly plug our pod. You can ban me, and just a bunch of emojis, like laughing emojis. And Richard Jefferson reposted it, and then did a shout out on their podcast while they were at Vegas during Summer League.
Okay.
And
that
was the moment
video.
when we like skyrocketed. Like, our downloads and views and subscription just went through the roof. And like, we took that as a perfect moment to, like, take that push and start doing more and more and better, whatever that means.
That's awesome. Dennis got his question wrong with Richard Jefferson.
One of them. I was asked 4. I got one wrong.
Yeah. And I just want to say, shout out to the mayor of NBA Threads. He checked in here. Good old David Rushing. Appreciate you.
I have no idea
what a guy.
Threads is.
What a guy.
Threads is like it. I don't want to say it's like it's Meta's version of Twitter, but it's like a better version of Twitter.
Basically, yeah, that would be the best way to describe it.
I the only thing that I know that this existed until about a minute ago.
Well, I know you hate getting on Twitter as it is, so I
try so hard to like be into it, and but I just don't care, and I just hate it. I hate it so much.
When I first opened Threads, I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, it was so chaotic, and I would see profiles that I don't even care about, because in the very beginning you didn't had For You and your following timeline. You had only For You timeline, and it was a mess. Like, I'm surprised that I found any basketball related stuff to begin with. Like, you literally had to go on a certain profile that you're interested in, look at their timeline to see something. Now it's like worked out, but algorithm wasn't working, and it was crazy at the beginning. Like, it was really rough. I'm curious what the questions were. Were like the questions that they do between quarters and stuff, like about nets, like history and things?
Oh, you're talking to me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Richard Jefferson questions.
Yeah, they were like trivia questions, and when he came up to me, just kind of surprised you don't have the picture to throw up there of my.
I have to find it.
So
Is it on your Instagram?
maybe I have no idea.
It's probably on your Facebook. I'll find it there.
No,
Keep
but
going.
they were like questions on and he just grabbed me literally out of nowhere. I think I was going to get like two pretzels. Next thing I know, I saw him and I go, "Hey, can I take a picture real quick?" Next thing I know, I got a microphone in my face.
What do you remember? What the questions were?
I don't know.
Was the one you got wrong? Wasn't it like the Nets
That's the
leading
one
scorer or something?
Yeah, and I think I said like I can't remember what I said, but it was Brooke Lopez. But he threw me off because he said because I was wearing a Brooklyn Nets shirt, and he goes, "The answer's in your shirt," and I'm like, "Brooklyn? Who the fuck is like?" I'm so like, next thing I know, it's Brooke Lopez. So, I'm, and then when I went down there last time, my last time I was on the fucking Spectrum News. I got interviewed. So literally every time I go down there, I'm getting interviewed for something.
Everyone just sees you and they're like, "We need to know what this guy's thinking."
Right. Plus, I mean, I stick out, so it's not like I'm an easy target.
At this point, you should like have a T-shirt or a hoodie with your podcast logo on it, and all the answers to your questions should be just go watch our podcast. I answer all of those there. Just like automatic.
Yeah, shameless plug. That's
Literally.
It's funny you say that because I was just looking into trying to do something with like shirts or like sweatshirts or something.
I was doing it today too.
I did.
But
I didn't find the picture of you with Richard Jefferson, but I found a picture of you with Ric Flair. I didn't know you met Ric
Ooh.
Flair.
Oh yeah. Oh
nice.
Ric Flair's the man.
Me and the Nature Boy.
I bumped into
He was
KD
a big fan of
once.
the pod.
Ric
Really?
Flair is?
No.
There.
Nice. Damn, that's cool.
Eyes closed.
Eyes closed and everything.
Nice. The best type of a picture. Hell yeah. I bumped into KD once and I didn't even realize that it's KD until like moments later. I was walking from work, like I said, like past Barclays, and I bumped into him and kept walking, turned around. I'm like, oh my God, that's KD. And the only thing he said was like, where? And kept walking. I'm like, that was wasted opportunity.
It's always kind of like weird when you walk past somebody like that because you're like, I don't want to rush them because I don't want to like portray like somebody being like fanatic, but at the same time it's like I want to meet the guy because he's
exactly
like been watching you my whole life because I watch you on TV and everything. So it's like it's that weird in between of like I don't want to.
Should I not?
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, nobody else. That.
All right, I found it. I sent it to you, by the way.
All right, I see it. Let me get it. I wonder if I can just throw it on the actual thing here. Or if I have to... Hold on. This thing's a little weird sharing-wise. Does that work? Apparently I can only upload videos and not a picture.
That sounds so stupid.
It
It is
actually.
It is stupid.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, might have got it. It's uploading. Hold on. Here we go. There it is.
Nice.
There he is with good old Richard Jefferson.
Look at that. What a stud. And Richard Jefferson next to him.
And you know something, like he's tall, but that guy needs to eat something.
Was he that skinny looking when
He
he
was
saw him?
skinny. He was fucking skinny.
Oh wow. I gotta say, I have never felt like such a small person until I was taking pictures on the sidelines for Blue Coats versus Maine Celtics, and Taco Fall was on the court, and I was sitting like on the baseline, and he gets a rebound, and then he goes to inbound the ball, and I'm sitting there, and I'm just looking all the way up, and I was like, "Wow, I feel like an ant, a literal ant right now."
That's what I bumped into KD. I'm like, we kind of like passed each other, and there was kind of like a shoulder brush, like very light one. And I'm looking up, and I realized that I need to go a full head up to see who that actually is.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I just don't understand how people can be that tall. It just doesn't make sense.
I mean, he makes I saw him like hug Shaq one time, and he looked small.
That's true. I mean, Shaq is just an entirely different human being.
But Taco Fall made Shaq look tiny.
Yeah. No, I know. And then like I can only imagine what like Yao Ming and Manute Bol would have been like.
Huge penises.
I mean, for their sake, I hope so, because it would be really
Right?
awkward if it was the other way around.
You have a size 20 shoe, and you have 7.4, 7.5, and you have a...
Yeah. And you got a chicken nugget.
That's
Right?
small. In Russia, that's small.
The kid dinosaur chicken nugget, you know, like the very small ones.
Exactly.
Oh, damn, I want some nuggets now.
See,
I
now you're learning.
I love that the State Farm commercial when Andy Reid is like, "Hey, explain it again, but with the nuggies."
Yeah, that's a good one.
So Dennis asked this question to our guest last week, but I'll ask it this time. So Dennis is better at setting scenes, but I'm going to give it a go, Dennis. So
Yeah, go ahead.
it's a Saturday night. You're
Okay.
at home.
Huh. Saturday night at home. Okay.
Watching a Brooklyn Nets West Coast away game. So it's like, like 10 p.m. Eastern for US, usually like a later time.
Yeah.
And they're playing the Trailblazers.
Yeah.
They are
they're
actually
shitty.
playing them today. Yeah, they're playing Blazers. I'm sure we're going to lose anyway.
Yeah,
Keep going.
What's your go-to meal, drink with it? What are you getting on that to say, all right, I'm set.
Ooh. Okay, so considering that Trailblazers are playing tonight, and it's gonna be like 10 p.m. I'm very like conscious about what I'm eating at certain times of the day or
Oh,
night.
don't do that.
Dude, come on. I have a wife. I have to. I'll show you later. You'll see it on my Instagram page, on my actual Instagram page. You'll realize why I need to look after me. Like, damn.
Well, give us this answer, then give us the answer that you don't have to worry about.
Okay, so tonight I actually was shopping yesterday and bought myself like 2 for $1 chips. One was Cheez-Its, I think cheese puffs, and the barbecue one. So I'm probably gonna pop a can of cider they call Black Widow. They're blackberry ciders. It's a really good stuff. And got those chips. If we're talking slightly earlier, like 7, 8 p.m., tacos.
Okay.
Tacos or pizza. Tacos is my shit.
Tacos are a great choice.
Question back to you. Does pineapple belongs on pizza?
No.
Really?
Oh, yeah. No, not even really.
Really?
110%.
Wow.
So I
Okay,
used
well, I'm out.
No. Holy fuck.
I used to work at a Domino's.
Oh, bro,
And
not. We're talking about good
oh no,
pizza,
I
not-
know the real pizza, but just from my experience, anytime someone called in and said Hawaiian, I always said, "Are you sure?"
So,
Because it just I can't do it. And the thing is, I love pineapple and I love pizza, but I do not like mixing the two.
interesting. Okay, I understand that. I used to work in the back of a house, and I was like that for a long time. And then my wife made one with obviously ham and bacon crumbles. That was a huge change in that, and
And
then
bear.
pineapple,
Bear
and
meat.
then and then she added a slight, just a sparkle of cinnamon, and that shit changed my fucking mind big time, like big time. I recently tried pineapple Hawaiian from Henry Howie's. That wasn't it. Just like whatever like the fast food chains, like the chains of pizza do with their pineapple, just not it. But if it's a fresh, properly done pineapple, I'm okay with it. But I respect if people not.
So what you're saying is that your wife's a smoke show, so you got to make sure you don't look like shit, so that you
Yeah,
can, gotcha.
pretty much. I sometimes look at her, I'm like, how the fuck even ended up with you?
Oh, don't
Like,
take yourself short.
From
You're a good
all
looking
of these
guy.
guys, really me.
I relate. I definitely relate.
You understand?
Al here says buffalo chicken with pineapple.
I'm not a big buffalo chicken guy, but I might need to try that.
I mean,
I'm in the South. I should.
I kind of see what he's going for with the sweet and the spicy.
Sweet, yeah.
But
Like balance it out.
yeah, still I just can't see. I
I
can't
mean,
do the
whatever
pineapple.
happened to just cheese?
Oh, I mean cheese. There he is.
Do a fucking
Cheese.
swap. You're on top, I'm on bottom now. Look at that.
He's Russian. He's always on top.
Yeah, I like being. Hey, I don't mind being on the bottom. I'm good.
But the stream was like, "Oh, you're so basic. You only said cheese. Get him
Right.
out of
Get
here."
on the bottom, you basic bitch.
Al said Dennis is a bottom
You
guy.
goddamn right now.
In all fairness, though, the regular cheese pizza is the go. Like when we order sushi, I'm the most basic bitch guy. Like I'm ordering nigiris or even sashimi. Sometimes I don't fuck with these all crazy specialty rolls with fuckload of sauces and toppings. I'm like, just give me a regular California or shrimp tempura roll. You know, like the basics, the stuff that they actually eat in the
Right.
you know, like Asian like countries down there. Like, don't give me these super dragon salmon deep fried bullshit rolls. Like, no, don't, not fucking with it. So I
There's
respect the cheese pizza, definitely.
There's a Chinese place by me that they have like most of their menu is like American Chinese, and they even tell you they're like, this is the Americanized, like the General Tso's, that kind of stuff. And then it was like the back page is like the authentic stuff.
Or like,
And it's
but
just
on
like
the back.
yeah, and it's like it's extra spicy, but it's like normal. Just like there's only a few ingredients. Like it's nothing crazy. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'd much rather have that. It's a
Authentic
lot
stuff,
better.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I ate one of those peppers from the General Tso's and I literally almost shit my pants. that was so fucking hot. I don't know what on the Scoville scale that thing was, but I wasn't sure if I was going to throw up or shit my pants or have a seizure. Or
All three at the same time.
Because it was fucking awful.
It's funny that you say that because I used to work in
The
a
shit
place.
in your pants is funny.
Yeah, it is.
Of course.
I used to
Remind me
work
to tell you about the time I ate 9 hot dogs at a barbecue one time.
oh, jeez.
9 hot dogs at the time. That's like one after another, back to back.
Now, throughout the day,
Oh, well, that's not as bad.
well, when your day's like 4 hours, Plus, we're talking
That's all right.
macaroni salad on top of it too. Macaroni
Okay.
salad, it's more
See,
than just-
macaroni salad, that's something I don't understand in y'all Americans. Like, that's shit is too much. It's just like, y'all were so fucking lazy that you just, like, took a cold pasta, mixed it with some shit, and called it macaroni salad.
Yes.
White people in America will throw anything together and call it either a salad or a casserole.
Fair, yeah. For sure. I can relate.
That's any family function I've had. It's just like, oh, here's sweet potato casserole, and here's broccoli casserole, and I'm like, just give me regular broccoli. I don't need whatever the hell else is in there.
Sweet potato casserole slaps though. If it's
Oh no, I
properly
agree.
made. Oh
Sweet
my
potatoes
God.
are that's where it's at.
I have sweet potatoes in
a
my
lot
fridge. I
of.
might roast some. Ooh.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, all right. There we go. So, I was working with this Asian guy. He used to own a restaurant. He would pop in once in a while and cook something up for his family.
Why can't he just be a guy? Why is he gonna be an Asian guy?
Because he's couldn't fucking speak English. Literally Asian.
Stop acting
All
woke.
right, Dmitry. Jeez.
And he gives you like a
Kick my
tiny
ass.
roll, like a jalapeno kind of, like typical like jalapeno sliced pepper. I have no idea what was it, but it was orange as fucking orange. And he gives it to me like, try it. And I'm like, throw it in, start chewing, and I realize that I'm about to pass out.
Oh, jeez.
So, having seizure thrown up and shitting my pants at the same time, I can relate. That shit hurt.
Right. And anybody who says they never shit their pants is full shit. Literally.
Literally.
Because they haven't let it out.
Because if you've had to shit your pants at least once in your life. And I'm
No.
talking like post like adulthood. If
Oh,
you
yeah.
if you haven't shit your pants at least once, you're not doing something right.
Those times on the way back from work when you really got to go, but you didn't want to go at work, and you're just like constantly trying to just get home before it comes out. It has come out at least once for everybody.
Well, because you got those times where you're like, I don't really have to go now, but then when you start having to have to go, that's when you start getting like invested in what you're actually doing, so you don't have the opportunity to go. So if the timing is off, it's not an ideal.
Or you're
scenario.
stuck on the subway in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m., and you realize that you're fucked for the next 45 minutes.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
what the bubs do, just shit right there.
Right in the middle.
Yeah, they don't
there.
care.
Well, on that note, let's actually get into some basketball.
Speaking of shit, how about
Yeah.
that Pascal Siakam trade?
Speaking of,
That's what we're headed to. Pascal
Oh.
Siakam has been traded to the Indiana Pacers. I had a question mark
Oof.
in the title at first because when I made the title, they were still in active talks, but it finally has been finalized. The Pacers are getting Pascal Siakam. The Raptors are getting Bruce Brown, Jordan Nwora, 3 first-round picks, and New Orleans entered as a third team, and they are sending Kira Lewis to the Raptors.
and one
Actually-
second round pick.
And one
On
second
top
round
of
pick.
that, yeah.
I don't think I ever saw. What does New Orleans get? Anything?
Kira Lewis, and they send that 1 second round pick. That's their pick. That's it. That's the whole deal. I don't
So
even
New
understand.
Orleans doesn't get anything in return?
Kira Lewis. That's them.
No, they're
That's
sending Kira Lewis to the Raptors.
Oh, I guess they're off because I didn't see anything. That I guess they're offloading. That's
I
what
guess
Brooklyn
so.
did with Joe Harris. They didn't get
Oh,
anything
that's
back
true.
for Joe Harris. They just offloaded him and got some cash back.
That I bet you it'll probably be cash considerations. That's true.
So
So yeah,
let's get this guy off the books.
I mean, Kira Lewis was promising at one point, then tore his ACL, I believe it was, and then whenever he came back, it was like they then had Jordan Hawkins, who now is playing very, very well. They have CJ
Yeah.
McCollum, they have Dyson Daniels, they have Jose Alvarado. So it kind of was like, I mean, you're not fitting in the rotation anymore, so why not offload it?
Zion, who's always healthy.
Zion, I mean,
The most healthiest player in the league, the Iron Man. Mikal Bridges ain't shit comparing to Zion.
Well,
He played
Zion,
like
at least
40
I
games
think-
last year.
I think
What'd you
so.
say there, Dmitry? Go ahead.
Zion, he played like 40, 50 games last year? Less than a half, right?
I think
Yeah, and then he missed the
yeah.
season before, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
then
full season.
but I don't know who plays less. I think Zion might be the top guy, but I think Bradley Beal might be pretty close second with streak when it comes to streak close.
I mean, so far this year, that title belongs to Bradley Beal.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Ben
This
Simmons?
year, at least.
Well, I
Well,
mean, at least if Ben Simmons though is gonna, at least he's sitting out for an extended period, and it sounds like Ben Simmons has like a pretty legit back issue going on. Bradley
Yeah.
Beal goes out for like strains, ankles, wrist fracture, like these little things. At least,
Dumb
like,
things that literally manageable. Yep.
Ben Simmons at least has something pressing on a nerve that's like could jeopardize his ability to walk. So you gotta cut him a little. I mean, he sucks, but you know, whatever.
Actually,
I mean-
I've been one of the people that been like, let's say, protecting kind of his status, especially last year, because I had
Don't
back
do it,
injury
it'll get you
myself,
nowhere.
and like 2020, for a good 2 months, I barely could walk, so I like know what back injuries are, like the lower back, exactly what he has. And when people are like, "Oh,
Man,
he
those
just doesn't want to
Russian
play,"
women don't mess around, huh?
telling you. And it was like, people don't fake injuries and go and have a surgery or two on their lower back. That just doesn't happen. When you fake your injuries and you don't want to play, you pretend to be Zion, you know, or like you said, Bradley Beal, like you just don't play. You say that you're injured, but you're not. Like, not seriously, at least. And this year again, but at this point, it's just like ongoing joke with Ben Simmons. It's more like he's not gonna play ever again, is he? He's like just Lonzo Ball at this point. He's just there on the team, on the roster, gets paid, and he can't physically play.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's what it's sounding like so far. At least until this contract is up. I'm very curious to see what happens when this contract is up of his, to see if like he even signs another one, or if someone just says, "Hey, we're going to give you the minimum until we know you can be healthy. Otherwise, we're not giving you a contract." So,
Yeah.
but like Dennis said, at least there is a. I mean, he doesn't have like a
Legitimate issue.
timetable to return, but at least there's like, hey, he's going to be out a while, so don't expect him back.
I mean, it's not
Where
like,
it's
he
like-
missed time for mental illness or anything.
No. Never heard of it before.
Nah.
That's a good one.
So yeah. Anyways, with the Pascal Siakam trade, don't worry, boys.
Yeah, back to-
I'll take it from here. Don't worry.
Back to
about it.
Siakam.
So Pascal Siakam, obviously an all-star. A little bit of a downswing this year. Of course, you know, the departure of Fred VanVleet probably had some a significant reason why his production is down. Scotty Barnes taking on more of the scoring role. So, and Siakam's not alone, because guys on that team have kind of regressed too. Gary Trent. I'm just surprised though that, I mean, Siakam to the Pacers has been in the works for a while, but I'm kind of curious about the Bruce Brown trade, because we're talking about a guy who was on the reigning champs last season, and now he's going to go from the Pacers, which is a middle of the pack team, and now he's going to go to the bottom of the barrel shit in Toronto. Now, I love the Raptors, you know I do, but they're not doing anything. They're not. So it'll be interesting to see what is going to happen with Bruce Brown eventually down the line. I can't see him really staying in Toronto. Maybe he'll at least toward next season. I don't see him in Toronto. I mean, that's a guy who his contract is not that bad. I think he signed two years, $45 million, if I remember correctly.
I think so. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a guy who is going to be like somebody who's going to be sought after. There's going to be teams who are going to want him. He's not going to cost you that much, especially with today's salary cap and the way everything is structured. So he's definitely a guy who would be on the move. I'm just surprised at this point, like Bruce Brown's was on the move, but yet guys like Dorian Finney-Smith, Royce O'Neal, those type of guys aren't moved yet, especially considering their deals. You know what I mean? But the Pacers are still a number 6 seed. They must think that they have a shot to win because Siakam's not guaranteed to come back. You know, he didn't sign a long term deal, which was something that a lot of teams shied away from making a deal for him, especially when it involves 3 firsts, because you don't know if you're going to get him beyond this season. But apparently, they think they got enough in Halliburton, Siakam, and
Turner.
as those two, and Miles Turner, and then they have all those other sort. And I'm still surprised, like T.J. McConnell still on the team. But you know what? Hey, best backup point guard in the league. So what the hell?
Damn right. Damn right.
Somebody actually mentioned on Threads today that somebody from like actual reporters that there's a noise that Bruce Brown to the Raptors is actually like just a pit stop. That there's already somebody that reached out and already is making the deal. No specific teams' names or anything like that, but that apparently he's on the move, that he's not even going to put on Raptors uniform even for 1 second.
That would make sense.
And I made a joke that
Knicks.
Brooklyn need him back. Brooklyn needs him back. I'm still upset that they took I'm salty about it that they took Patty Mills over Bruce Brown for exactly the same amount of money that Bruce Brown asked for.
Well, the Knicks have $17 million on the bench right now,
Yeah.
not doing anything. They have plenty of first round draft picks. So I could see the Knicks making and I haven't heard anything. I'm just assuming, but I could see the Knicks making a move, for something like that. He would be a great fit in Boston. Boston can't afford him though.
Philadelphia.
100%. You're 110% correct on that. If he went to Philly,
Yeah.
and I told you after last night, it wasn't the prettiest win. Everybody's making a big deal about Jokic and Embiid, and Embiid, he got the best of Jokic, even though Jokic had 19 rebounds, but he really showed him who's boss. But anyways,
He out assisted and scored him.
yeah, okay.
Don't
So
act like it was nothing.
The guy had 19. Anyways, the Bruce Brown, if he went to the Sixers, man, that would be a huge pickup for them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So I say the teams to keep an eye on in this would be the Knicks. I would also agree with the 76ers. And honestly, I can't really think of any other teams that would be.
The only other one I could think of is the
Cleveland?
Warriors. I could see the Warriors trying to unload somebody like Kuminga and getting Bruce Brown in return.
Which is an insane thing to say. Unloading Kuminga. Kuminga is phenomenal.
I know.
Yeah.
And what he is, and saying unloading him, because
bad
that's
shooter?
the situation. You're unloading a really good player because you don't need him, you don't know how to fit him in the system that obviously is failing. Speaking of Knicks, by the way, sorry for interrupting you. Voj, he's doing those Wednesday Q&As, and he said today the Knicks are in a good position asset-wise, and they are looking for backup point guard without trying to compromise themselves for a bigger future.
Okay. I did also see that they were shopping Quentin Grimes at the same time.
I saw that, yeah.
Which
That
makes
was
no
a
sense
great
to me.
pick.
Yeah, Grimes has actually been he's shown some promise, especially once they got rid of RJ and quickly.
RJ
Well, let's
fell
go
off
though.
really quick.
Let's get the Donovan Mitchell trade going now. Let's knock the bullshit off and let's make the trade already, because this is where it's going.
True. Well, hold on, Dmitry. What do you think of the Siakam and the Pacers and how they shake out? What do you think? How do you think the Pacers are going to fare? Did this make them that much better? Are they in the top 4 of the East now? Or
Pacers will be in the top 3 by the end of the year.
So who are you thinking that they beat out?
Bucks.
The Bucks. Oh,
Bucks.
the Bucks. Okay.
The Bucks.
All
Bucks are our mayor, David Rush. We talked with him about that when he was in my pod. That Bucks are one scary injury away from falling through the season. Their bench is not that deep, and all they have is Giannis, Middleton, Dame. You know, like, they have a few really good guys, but that's it. That's the starting lineup. That's all they have. Their secondary players are Thanasis and a bunch of bums, unfortunately. So they're actually one solid injury away from not doing anything. Pacers are still extremely solid team, even with Halliburton being out for how many games he already missed.
Enough.
I think he's going to be out for like another week or two or something like that.
And they're still staying alive in the top 10, like, in my opinion, easily. Like, I think with this trade, and they didn't lose any insane pieces. That was like the talk that if they get Pascal Siakam, they will have to give up more. And realistically, they didn't. Like, Bruce Brown was the only piece that made some kind of difference for their lineup. So I think Pacers will be very, very on top of it. Raptors just... I think all of these players that they got, the Brown, Nora, and Kira, all of them are just going to go elsewhere for picks. I think just Raptors going to get as many picks as they can for everything, like Nets did last year. Like, they traded everything they could trade and hauled so many picks that they're like, with all the stuff that we own to Rockets for Harden trade and all the other stuff, it's all basically, we got it all back with the trades. We're just kind of like trying to set up our future, but we not doing what necessary is. I hope Raptors will.
Right.
Who knows?
I'm still caught up on the fact that Al thinks I'm a bottom guy.
Well, it's funny you say that because Al actually just commented again here. He said, "What do the Knicks have to give up to get Donovan Mitchell?"
Oh, damn.
Well, Fournier is one of them.
Fournier has to go, especially just to match contract.
Yeah, definitely.
But then
especially now that they've traded Quickly and RJ. I mean, you're probably gonna like either Josh Hart or DiVincenzo will probably.
That's what I was thinking. Josh Harden picks.
Yeah, but I don't think
Josh
it'll
Harden
happen
like a second rounder or something like. But then you need to figure out the salary, the money, all that stuff.
What are you gonna say, Dennis?
Hartenstein.
Well, if they trade Hartenstein, then their next center up is Taj Gibson.
I mean, they weren't worried about it before. I mean, there's a reason why they signed him. Obviously, they weren't too concerned. You fucking look at me like I'm crazy. You're like, what? How dare you?
Or they could just trade Mitchell Robinson.
Did you hear, actually, guys, that NBA declined Knicks' request for the money sub for Robinson because apparently he's going to be back by the end of the season, so he doesn't count?
Yeah, they apparently had like conflicting doctor reports saying he should be able to come back by the end of the season. So, I mean, that's great for them because he brings.
I mean, they still can apply later and get the money back, but it's just like.
But you say that the Pacers are going to be a top 3 seed. My Halliburton can't. I have serious doubts on whether Halliburton was hurt a couple of games before this latest stint of him getting hurt. Miles Turner certainly can't stay healthy. Pascal Siakam missed time over the past couple seasons. So, yeah, that concerns me, honestly.
That's
fair. The
fair.
Bucks, but the thing with the Bucks is that Giannis is still arguably one of the best players in the world. The Pacers don't have that, and as much as people want to tout Tyrese Halliburton, to me, he's nowhere even near close to being the best player in the world. In fact, I don't even think he's like a top 10 player yet.
He's getting there. He's gonna be there.
Yeah.
We're talking about this season here, fellas. We're talking about they gave up first round draft picks for a guy who's not guaranteed to stay. So
yeah, it's a big gamble.
He's gonna be there is not right now. He's gonna be there is not something that he needs to be there right now in order for this to work. Or Siakam needs to stay there long term.
Right.
Well, actually, I saw some reports already. Even Shams posted a thread that Siakam already is talking to Pacers for a long-term contract. And Pacers said that whatever extension he has in a contract, they will guarantee that whatever the timeline is set there, it's done and go. Like, so basically,
Well, when he
we're just
actually
waiting
does
for
it,
kind of confirmation.
he needs to actually do it, because we're also talking about the same guy who said that Siakam to the, I believe it's either Shams or Woj said it, but either way, they've been wrong before in the past. But we're talking about reports about Siakam going to Sacramento, and that never happened. So until it actually
Sacramento
happens,
pulled back immediately for whatever reason.
Which I mean, I don't fault a team for pulling back the moment when the report came out that Siakam said he's not going to guarantee signing long term to any team. It's like at that point, like the Pacers, yes, they made the gamble, but if I'm Sacramento, if I'm like one of these other teams that were rumored in it, like especially Golden State, am I going to mortgage my entire future to get this guy that I don't even know if he's going to stay? Because like Golden State too, I mean they're crumbling fast. So
Yeah, they're rough.
if that doesn't work out and Siakam walks, then they're screwed for years to come. So it's like I understand, and with the way the Sacramento Kings are set up, you have Fox for a while, you have Sabonis for a while, you have Malik Monk for a while as a good sixth man. You have a couple other pieces. Keegan Murray's still on his rookie contract.
JaVale McGee, shit hot.
I love JaVale McGee. He's the man.
Yeah.
But you trade a guy like Harrison Barnes and a couple of their other backups like Davion Mitchell and things like that, and get a guy, another starting caliber player, maybe even like a Bruce Brown. And that could really turn the team around. So I don't think they needed to mortgage everything. On top of that, I don't see the fit, honestly, with Siakam and Sabonis together. I don't think that fits well at all. So
that would be kind of like Ben Simmons, Nick Claxton situation,
right? Or even like Miles Turner and Sabonis. I mean, it's kind of similar.
Yeah.
So I understand it.
But at the same time, like, people are freaking out over Siakam not having an extension or a contract, like where he's gonna go. The same thing happened with Mavericks last year when Kyrie got moved. Everybody's like, "Oh, he's gonna be out by the end of the year," and he gets this big ass contract. Of course,
his situation is a little different though. Not a lot of people wanted him.
It's still Kyrie Irving though. His skill set is enough. Like, I bet that if he would say, yeah, I won out or something of that matter, or contract would run out and he would be a free agent, people would still want him because just basically on his skill set.
Of course, but not.
He's still the best handler in the league, in my opinion.
Never been a problem. That's never been the problem.
But he's insane. I know that. I have his T-shirt. I have his jersey.
Durability and insanity.
Oh.
Dmitry, come back.
The audio's still there, but the video turned off.
What happened? There we go.
There,
boy.
What happened? Jesus Christ.
It was Kyrie. He's putting his voodoo magic on us.
Yeah, he's like, oh, what are you talking about me? Still like him as a player. He's amazing. Sorry.
If Kyrie
Too bad
could
you're crazy.
Kyrie could just shut the fuck up and play and not get hurt.
Not post tweets of a fucking books, sure.
He would have been multi-time MVP.
Yep.
Probably.
Dennis and I are a little bit salty about it because
all
of this fell apart because of him, kind of, sort of.
Oh no, I get it.
I'm like, I'm one of the very little amount of people, Brooklyn Nets fan, I'm not sure what Dennis' stand on it, that James Harden didn't bitch out and leave Nets. Like, he gave up on Nets because front office clearly didn't give a fuck at the moment when everything went down. You know, and like, you have one of the stars injured, not being able to play, and the other star just sitting on the couch watching whatever he's fucking doing, playing video games and getting $35K a game for nothing. He's like, why we can't get something done with it? Why I'm here by myself when I played last finals, well, conference finals, through a grade 3 hamstring injury, which is basically a tear. And like, why you clearly don't want to do anything with this, so why would I want to? That was kind of my position. With 76ers, that's a whole different situation. I'm sure you know more about that than I do. All I know that he said that Darren Morey's a fucking liar and stuff.
But I agree with you 100%. And I said when all that stuff went down, here's Harden. Harden was actually like playing through that hamstring ailment.
Yeah.
And he had that same thing going back to his days in Houston. And I don't blame the guy. I don't blame Harden for getting annoyed, because here's a guy who, and look at Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins got the shot. He's like, whatever. I didn't want to take it, but I took it because I want to play with my team. Yet we got the other guy doesn't want to get vaccinated. I get it, all right, but you also got a team that you're letting down, and without him, the Nets struggled significantly. So, if I don't blame James Harden for being pissed, because Kevin Durant was certainly not going to stand up for the
He clearly
stand up
did,
for and put his boy in place.
You know what's funny? That if KD was on this team right now, minus McCollum, Cam Johnson, obviously, I think this team would have been in a way better position than they are right now.
100%.
With DFS and Dinwiddie, with the players that we have, with Cam Thompson and KD, not just because KD is KD, but like overall, this team would make way more sense than it does right now.
Yeah. And
KD single-handedly almost beat the Bucks.
Yeah,
exactly.
Almost.
And if his foot was a little damn smaller, it would have, who knows?
One size. Yeah,
his dick's too big. His feet can't be small.
Big. Yeah. Massive. Probably has 3 legs.
Exactly.
What's their name? Oh my god. So Athletic gave Pacers A-, but Raptors B- grade in the trade.
I mean, I would still give the Raptors an A because they're getting 3 first-round picks.
They're getting a lot for one player.
Exactly. Like they're
getting 3 players that they can turn around too, which is like that's a stack.
Yeah.
Well, they could get rid of Gary Trent. Gary Trent could go to the Knicks. Him and Fournier are making about the same amount of money.
I would get rid of Schroeder.
I would gladly give up Gary Trent for Evan Fournier and a pick.
Yeah.
If Gary Trent could significantly help the Knicks.
Schroeder is, probably not fitting their timeline, so you could probably trade him to anybody. Anybody would include him on their bench unit. And then on top of that, what?
Except the Lakers.
They'll probably take him back. I bet you probably. LeBron would take him
back. They will, especially right now. Yeah.
LeBron's like, Cam Reddish isn't playing. All these other guys keep getting hurt all the time. D'Angelo Russell will give you 4 points one game and 30 points 5 games later. I'm tired of him. But trade those guys. You can trade away Bruce Brown again. Kira Lewis is in like cheap, just like guy you can see if he pans out, see if he doesn't, and kind of let it go from there. And then Jordan Nwora is another one that's really cheap. Maybe you give him a couple minutes, maybe you don't, whatever it may be. I mean, there's also guys on this team that probably have a little bit of value to teams as backups, like just how Precious Achiuwa became the backup for the Knicks. You got a guy like Chris Boucher who could be a backup big anywhere. I mean, he's able to shoot threes. He can get you some rebounds, get you some blocks as a backup center. A lot of teams will take that, especially on the cheap. I bet you the Dallas Mavericks would take that in a heartbeat, especially right behind Derek Lively. That would probably fit very well for them. So they have a lot of pieces that they can still get rid of and still be able to keep RJ Quickly and Scotty Barnes as like their new three, like I don't want to say big 3, but just like new core. So I think the Raptors get at least an A for this trade because they set themselves up with a lot of flexibility for this.
A lot of future. Yeah, I do agree.
Plus, it seems like the Raptors are really into Jonte Porter lately, so who's been playing relatively well. So who knows?
They just need to draft a center. Because I mean, I love Pirtle, but he's now hurt, and They just need.
Really? Already?
Yeah, I think he's been out for the last week or so.
Couple weeks.
I missed that. Wow.
Couple more to go.
Yeah, yeah. So they haven't had a center since Marc Gasol, which even then Marc Gasol was pretty past his prime. But hey, he won him a ring, so he is what he is. And so I want to take this real quick to one of the next topics. So just because it was amazing. Coaches now are freaking out about the refs. We talked a little bit about the refs in a previous episode a few weeks back, but it was the players talking about it. We went over things like Fred VanVleet talking about Ben Taylor, whatever his name is, the one ref. LeBron pointing at the replay after they get that wrong. There was the incident with the Celtics when they replayed the foul on Jaylen Brown and got that call wrong as well. So many things. And then the last two incidents have been coaches complaining. Probably my favorite one. I'm going to play two of the clips here. My favorite one is from the Raptors head coach, Darko. I mean, this was an all-time rant. So I'm going to play this real quick.
Players on our team as well. How's possible that Scotty Barnes, who is all-star caliber player in this league, he goes every single time to the rim with force and trying to get to the rim without flopping and not trying to get foul calls. He gets 2 free throws for the whole game. How's that possible? How are you gonna explain that to me? They had to win tonight? If that's the case, just let us know so we don't show up for the game. Just give them a win. But that was not fair tonight. And this is not happening first time for us. Scotty Barnes is going to be all-star. He's going to be the face of this league. And what's happening over here during whole season, I've been holding it back. It's a complete crap.
I love
That a boy.
Yeah. Do we know how much money he got fined for that?
I don't remember.
25,000.
Really? Only 25K?
I thought that would have been more too.
Yeah.
I tell you,
King's coach got fined 50 today for his laptop incident.
I actually have that clip coming up next. So
50K.
I tell you though, hey, kudos to him, man, for sticking up for his guys.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, he's got a point. Where was a significant variation in free throw attempts between the teams.
In that game, wasn't that game the one where the Lakers had like 24 free throws in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, 24-2.
That's just insane.
They got to give these coaches at least one free pass a year, because that's awesome.
Oh, I agree. The punching 100%. The table, that whole rant is like an all-time moment. And like you said, I applaud the fact he went to bat for his players. Like that's what you want in a coach. I mean, and you can say what you want about how well the team is doing, but it's not built to do well right now. So he's going to get them through some tough times. He's going to try and throw out a lot of things, but at least throughout the whole thing, he's going to be there for his players. And like you brought up, Dmitry, there was Mike Brown, so I want to play a little bit from his too real quick. We'll bring that up here.
Man, I know David Guthrie and Brian Forte, great guys, great officials. I don't really know Inte well, but he seems like a good guy, and they're human, and they all make mistakes. And I just want to, Dip, let me see that, man. I just want to show you guys why I got kicked out of the game right here. This is in the this is in the third quarter with 1:28 left to go in the third, and right here you can watch. Go back and watch. Fox barely puts his hand on Dame's hip. Okay, incidental contact. He didn't push him or anything. He barely puts his hand on there, and they give him 3 free throws. Now, at half, we were down, I think, 19-5 in the free throws. 19-5. And I know that happens sometimes, but that's very frustrating when at the end of the half, from what I get told all the time, Malik drives, Lopez comes over and goes vertical with a forearm down here. Now, from what the NBA tells me, the rule is if you go vertical, you got to have 2 hands up. because Domas has his hand down here a lot, and they call him for it every time, and they always tell us, well, you got a forearm here. And they said that tonight, they said forearm could be here as long as it's not extended. So I don't know what the rules are in this situation.
I gotta say, I mean, if you're getting told one thing the entire season and then another thing in one game, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Cavaliers never should have let him go.
Oh, hell no.
Oh,
Mike Brown's a great coach. I also love the bringing out the laptop. That's amazing to me.
Very well thought out on his part.
The whole coaches situation, like I started it last year. It started with me when Jason Tatum clapped and got tech. He got frustrated with himself. Remember that? That was like one of the first games of the season. And I looked at that, I'm like, that's going to sum up the entire season. And that's how it went. This year, it feels like it's even worse, like especially the free throws. Even yesterday, the Nuggets-Sixers game was amazing to the point where we started hearing whistles every 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. Like I will always catch a lot of flack because obviously I'm a Sixers fan. They're like, oh, Embiid shoots all these free throws and everything. And it's like, look, I get upset that Embiid hunts for free throws in the playoffs as well. Like it's not just like I'm cheering for him to shoot free throws. I'd rather, and the thing is, I know he can score 30 a night without free throws. He has that ability and he's done it plenty of times. So he doesn't need the free throws to bail him out. And I will say this year, he's flopped a little less than he has in years prior, especially the year with James Harden. Him and James Harden were just flopping all over the floor.
Yep.
And I like,
wasn't the rule with the flopping because of them? Like there's a rumor that the flopping rule became a thing because of how Harden and Embiid realized how they can like kind of run the thin line.
Oh yeah, it was them and Trae Young. Trae Young was the reason for the one when you're like going around the screen and a guy like has his hand on your hip and you just throw a shot in the air. That whole thing was because of Trae Young. But
I think the flopping rule came in when Ime flopped his unit on the desk before he left the Celtics.
that's why the flopping call is this.
Right.
That's
I tell you,
God,
you know what referee needs to get put in their place is that Ashley Moyer. If I get her alone sometime, I'm going to put her in her place.
Here, I thought you were going to be like Tony Brothers, but no, okay.
Scott Foster, you son of a
Tony
bitch.
Brothers should be fired. Period.
Oh yeah, Tony Brothers and
Foster.
Scott Foster
Oh my
should
God.
just go do something else. Just please, just save us.
Yeah,
all.
seriously.
They know they're the villain too.
I don't care. Yeah.
Ashley, if you're listening, call me because I want to talk about some of these erroneous foul calls that you've been doing for most of the season. Know what I mean?
It's terrible.
Honey.
But anyway, let's get on to, we have 2 last topics here, and we've already kept you on a really long time.
I'm chilling. I'm having a great time.
So
we're cool. He likes hanging out with us.
yeah, exactly. It's a great time. It's always a fun time.
Hell yeah.
This guy's a fucking dope too. I know you didn't interrupt it, but holy shit.
So I saw this
I'm
pop
sorry.
up. I saw this pop up on my news feed, and I was like, "Oh, we have to talk about this." So Ryan Rollins allegedly, I have to put allegedly there just in case, stole on multiple occasions. I think it was 7 different occasions.
It was between November and December.
Yes, from Target.
Same one,
And
too.
The same Target. And the Wizards waived him because of it. And even if you're on the league minimum, even if you're on a 2-way contract, you have enough money to not have to steal from Target. Like unless he used all of his money on Bitcoin and then lost it all, Like
NFT.
what? Exactly. What then? What like? I don't even know what to say about it. It's mind blowing.
So the report about him getting waived came out around 10 days before. Um, the news about him apparently stealing from Target and stuff. So that's unclear if the team knew about it before they fired him, or they fired him and then everybody found out. So like that's unclear. But from my understanding, from a lot of players, and it's not like it's not a good thing, but I've noticed that a lot of these kids these days are trying to see how much shit I can get away with, like
For
how
sure.
fucking much stuff I can do before I'll get a slap on the wrist. Like even Ja Morant with his guns in the live, on Instagram live and stuff. Like how much you can do before somebody does tell you, hey, stop, or stop doing it.
Right.
So this fucker apparently stole, allegedly, same way eBay allegedly flopped his penis. This dude allegedly stole candles, body wash, and candles.
Are
Like, what
those
the
the
fuck?
only two
Like-
things?
What?
Are those the only two things he stole? Candles and body wash?
And groceries. So
Yeah,
like,
it has to be for fun. Like there's no way.
but here's my thing. I mean,
I'm so confused.
the dude is like 6'5", so he's gonna stick out like a sore thumb for one. People are automatically gonna pay attention to him. He's 6'5". It doesn't matter, even if he looks like he's gonna steal or not, which he probably doesn't. He doesn't look like he's gonna steal. Let's just leave it at that. With the way things are these days, a certain clientele of groups of people are ones who are usually targeted in these types of situations. Other than him being 6'5", I don't think he really fits the criteria as a guy who is going to steal something. And what's worse is that it's like, if you're going to steal something, dude, can you take a PS5 or something? Like your NBA career got flushed in the toilet because you stole candles?
But also, if you're stealing body wash, like, have you not been using body wash? Like,
Yeah.
like
That
are
shit
you
is
not...
expensive, though.
I mean, you have a point.
Not
But-
8 million expensive.
Exactly. Not lose your job in the NBA expensive.
Yeah, that's why I'm so confused. It's like that's what I was thinking about it. Like that's at the point then you just doing it to fuck around, and unfortunately you did find out.
Like
it has to be it.
At least LiAngelo Ball stole like designer sunglasses.
At least Jameis Winston stole crab legs,
Exactly.
allegedly.
Wait, what? I never
Oh,
heard
yeah.
about it.
This probably
was-
was before you came to the good old U.S. of A.
It was when he was in college, right, at Florida State.
Yeah, apparently he stole king crab legs, put them down as sweatpants.
It was like hundreds of dollars worth of crap legs.
Yeah,
So
they're
I could get on
fucking
board with that.
expensive, bro.
I know.
Damn,
that
I'll
ain't
put
no
them in the
joke.
sweatpants. You see the fucking prices? So I go to Sam's Club every now and then, and I look at the price. I'm like, shit, $300? Fuck that.
I mean, I don't blame him though. My hair gel probably went up $2 in the last year, and I thought about stealing it because I'm sick of paying these prices.
Al brings up a good point. Michael Carter Williams stole a bathrobe from Lord and Taylor.
That shit is expensive too.
That's like,
Allegedly.
he did say allegedly.
That a boy.
Don't get yourself in trouble, Al. But no, like, at least all these guys are stealing expensive stuff, not body wash and candles.
Yeah, fucking steal a portion on 11 or something. Damn.
Like, make it worth it.
Scented candles, bro.
And I know the guy who detained Michael Carter Williams. True story.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he did it in Syracuse. So from the Lord and Taylor, and the guy who stopped him, it was about 6'10". So
jeez.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Wrong Lord and Taylor to steal stuff from, but again, at least he was in college. Like you could, and that was before people were getting paid. So of course you had to
Paid 'em,
steal
yeah.
shit. It's cold in Syracuse. You freeze your ass off. It's like Russia, almost as bad. And so I could understand why he's stealing a bathrobe. The fucking guy wants to stay warm.
He's like, I don't have a jacket. I need this bathroom.
Right? He's like, I need a bathrobe.
I'm a broke college kid.
Ryan Rollins was on a guaranteed contract into the millions.
Yeah.
That fucker's
Yeah.
stealing candles.
And at least he's in like DC. It's not like he's in Syracuse.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't know. The whole situation is weird.
yeah, I agree. And so
I'm waiting for more. For more details. It gotta come out sooner or later.
there has to be something, especially with like the legal things that.
Yeah, that's what's surprising
out
because
He'll
usually
settle.
in
He'll pay a
cases like
fine
that,
He'll pay a fine and that's it.
companies and stuff would release something like a statement. Like, isn't Target supposed to release a statement saying?
You know how many people steal from Target every day?
Yeah, but not everybody who steals from Target is a basketball player with a guaranteed contract. It's
But
kind of
nobody knows who
publicity.
the fuck he is. I barely
Now
know
does.
who he was.
Now everybody does know.
Oh yeah, now everybody knows.
Exactly.
Tell you, I hadn't thought about his name probably since the last time I used him in a DraftKings lineup because he was cheap and I thought he was going to get minutes.
He didn't.
When he was on the Warriors.
Again, can't remember.
Yeah.
Well, so going from one weird situation to another, Erik Spoelstra,
Oh, that's funny as hell.
he ended up divorcing his ex-wife Nikki Sapp, I think her name is. They're married 7 years before finalizing a divorce in November of 2023. After the divorce was finalized, Spoelstra then signs a $120 million contract extension with the Miami Heat.
My boy Pet definitely looks out for his guy.
Oh, 100%.
100%, right?
If, like, you know how they're wearing the Heat culture jerseys? Like, that is Heat culture right there. They're like,
Yep.
You're getting divorced? Let us know when it's done.
Yep.
Then we'll talk. That has to be.
They're like, don't worry, we're not letting you go. Nothing is happening. You'll get your money. We just need upright timing for it.
Exactly. They're like, like maybe we'll just leak to the press that like we're not going to resign you just to make it look like you're not going to get any money, so that you can follow through this whole thing.
I mean, you got
Sorry,
a picture.
honey, I don't have anything else.
You got a
What do you
picture
see
of her?
There is one in this news article.
I want to make sure the viewers, on our YouTube show could.
Get the full
Yeah,
picture.
I know where this is going. Yep.
So in this news article, it does say after this happened, she took to Instagram and posted this.
Yeah, she's gonna make a lot of money on OnlyFans, so she'll be fine.
Oh, yeah. And she doesn't need OnlyFans anymore. She divorced Erik Spoelstra.
Well, that was
probably got-
pre-contract extension. She's still got millions.
Yeah,
I was about to say,
exactly.
she's still got plenty of money.
She's loaded.
And she's probably known around. She's probably got connect. I mean, it's not like she's gonna marry a garbage man. So she's gonna be a sought-after commodity. Not a knock against garbage men doing honest work, but it's not. She's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, she
She'll
will.
be okay.
And it's funny because when I first saw her name, like I'd never seen her before, but when I saw her name, I was like, is she related to Warren Sapp? Because if that's it, like I wouldn't want to fuck with Warren Sapp.
They look alike.
Oh, they look so alike.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But I was a
Oh, yeah,
little
she-
worried there for Erik.
For one, she took to Instagram. She probably has 1 million followers.
The
At
news
least.
the news article says yes, they listed her Instagram followers. 46,000.
It's
All right,
definitely
it's-
more now. For
It
sure.
probably is
quadruple.
more now.
I
Oh, yeah.
guarantee you, she goes to OnlyFans, she'll clear $1 million easily.
She'll double up that divorce settlement within a week.
2 weeks later, Erik Spoelstra's ex-wife signs $1 million contract with OnlyFans.
Now, the only reason I would subscribe to that is so that I could do some reporting for the show.
For scientific purposes only.
I want to make sure I have my facts straight if I report on the OnlyFans. So I want to make sure everybody's, aware of. I want to make sure I have my facts straight.
You better go make sure your wife's not listening to this episode.
Who? Oh, my wife. Yeah.
She's like, shit,
And I think if we use it for work purposes, we could get a tax deduction off of it.
All right, I'm in.
interesting.
Tax write-offs, I'm in.
Let's do it.
Let's call Mike real quick. Get our accountant on the phone.
Listen, we need OnlyFans expression. I'll explain later why, okay?
Just tell me whether or not it can be a write-off.
My wife would be like, "What's OnlyFans?" She'd have no clue.
Just say it's a
It's a new
fan-
subscription for basketball podcast.
Yeah.
I actually think, doesn't OnlyFans like bill you discreetly?
Pride.
They do. Apparently, something
Al,
like
Al, you
somebody
know anything
sued
about
them
this?
or something.
Al,
Al.
Aging Al, do you have an OnlyFans account?
Al, can you help?
Apparently, somebody sued them because like the dude's girlfriend or somebody saw like a bank statement or some kind of shit like then there was OnlyFans and the guy started suing them and they changed it to just like LLC number, address number, whatever bullshit.
Oh, Biff's
since.
Towing.
Who knows?
Jake's Plumbing Company.
Yeah.
Has billed you for your subscription.
Yeah.
I love how it starts with like, guys, you got me in trouble with my wife for being subscribed to OnlyFans. I'm suing you now. Like, oh, because that's their
Right.
fault.
Right.
Yeah. That's
They
hilarious.
really twisted your arm to get on that site.
Exactly. And pay for it, no less.
I mean, at least he's not stealing candles.
Just go the Doc Rivers route and do it for free
Right.
on things like Twitter or whatever it is, Reddit. You know,
Aren't you happy that you don't have Duck Rivers anymore?
so happy I don't have Doc Rivers. Honestly, when I turn on a game and he's commentating the game, I turn it off for whatever other game is on.
Wait, he's commentating games? Sixers games?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Not Sixers games. Well, at least not yet.
ESPN.
Yeah,
Ugh,
he's just on
Jesus.
the national broadcast.
Because
I
I
actually
usually
like
watch I usually watch games in the League Pass and I pick like if it's Brooklyn, I'll pick their commentator. It's just not like a basic generic like NBA TV and stuff.
Right.
So I had no idea that he's I would not want to watch that. No.
I like that. I mean, yeah, he sounds like he has throat cancer, but besides that, it's okay.
I don't understand what happened to his voice.
I don't know.
But yeah, I just
He probably ate those peppers that
From the Chinese, General
yeah.
Tso's chicken pepper.
the dentist that I tried. Yeah, definitely. Too many of those motherfuckers.
But I just can't, from all the years of hearing him in post-game press conferences say the same stupid shit all the time, I'm just like, I just can't listen to you. I mean, to be honest, I probably would rather have Mark Jackson back instead of him. And I wasn't even that big of a Mark Jackson.
That's a hot take.
He's tired. You don't know what he's talking about.
You didn't like Mark Jackson?
I
Who,
didn't.
me?
Yeah, you.
I mean, why do I give a fuck about Mark Jackson?
You said you like Doc Rivers, but you like him more than Mark Jackson?
No, I like Doc Rivers on commentary.
That's what I'm talking
Oh.
about.
Do I like? I guess I like Doc Rivers more than Mark Jackson because Mark Jackson comes across as like pissed off, like, you know what I mean? Like Doc Rivers knows he got fired, but I don't think he really cares. He's just having fun.
Yeah. Any podcast that he's on, they ask him about what happened with the Sixers, and he has to say some stupid shit. And then it's on the news cycle. Then it's like, oh, Doc Rivers says the team failed because of this. And it's like, Doc Rivers says the team failed because of anything but himself.
Yeah. The only reason
And-
he's considered to be a good coach because he was in the right time in the right place was Celtics that won him a ring. It wasn't him winning a ring. It was the fucking lineup that won a ring.
Exactly.
I mean,
Steve Nash can repeat it for fuck's sake. Once. Once. All I needed is one ring for Brooklyn Nets. He had all the fucking right tools for it too.
And they even asked for him to be the coach.
Oh no, I think I upset Dennis.
Oh, he doesn't like
yeah, I mean, Steve Nash is not a good coach. However, that you know what? I can't. I'm not gonna do it tonight.
It doesn't have
Like
the
enough
energy
going
for
into it.
it. Well, that is actually the last topic we had lined up for today. I will say that Dmitry tagged me in a post that Miles Bridges was reported to
Yes.
be
Oh
a
my God.
potential target for the Sixers.
See ya.
And
Take Cam Johnson with you.
no. Miles Bridges.
Oh.
Miles Bridges. The
You can tell I'm
Hornets Miles
tired.
Bridges.
Yeah, no, take McCall too. If you want to take McCall, that's fine.
I would love to have Mikal Bridges.
Take him. Take him. Take Cam.
See,
take.
I like Mikal Bridges, but I don't like the fact that Nets are trying to build around him like he's the next KD, sort of a thing.
Well, for one, the guy
it's not
can't shoot.
happening.
Cam Johnson is hurt constantly. You got to get rid of him. I can't take
Cam,
him anymore.
yeah. Dennis, what's your opinion on Cam Thomas?
I don't like him.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
I mean, it's not. It's not personally. Like it's
No,
not like I
it's
think he's a
just-
bad person. I just don't like him as a player. I think
As a
he's
player,
not good.
yep. Not for this team.
He's just a shot chucker.
And his shots
yeah.
aren't even quality shots. He puts up a lot of crappy shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, his shot selection is terrible. I've sent it so many times and people hating me for that.
He's got a really high ceiling. Whenever his floor
his floor
is
is
just
terrible.
as low as could be. His ceiling is amazingly high, but you know.
Yep. His
I think
floor is
that
Ben
goes
Simmons'
for
floor.
yeah. I think that goes for all those like prototypes of players, the ones that can get red hot, they can just get just as ice cold.
You know who I'm really hot on Nets though? Lonnie Walker. Oh my love. That guy is
How about
just...
Dennis Smith?
and Dennis Smith. Those two are just they were always good, but something clicked on the Nets for them.
I mean, Dennis Smith looks like the player like the guy who was drafted number 7 overall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
he actually looks like a good player.
I've always
They
been a
both do.
fan of Lonnie Walker too, because he grew up and played like an hour away from where I live. So he like not exactly hometown, but like a hometown
Mhm.
guy. So I've always loved seeing Lonnie Walker play. And I just think he, with the Spurs teams, it was like kind of shaky on those teams that he was on. And then he went to the Lakers and I was like, he's not going to do much on the Lakers and everything. What's up, Dava?
We
Hello.
got a guest. Don't say anything dumb. Just say hello.
Hi.
And
Hi.
let's say hello to Dmitry.
Hi, Dmitry.
Okay.
Hi.
Have a great. Okay. Love you.
Have a good night.
You too.
Don't-
You too.
All right.
Why is your name Big Sexy?
Well, look at me. I'm big. I'm sexy.
Yes, yes.
Love you.
Love you.
She's like, I'm done.
She's like, yeah, I'm out of here.
I mean,
My dad is weird.
Trust me, when I go to these events and I see the other dads, I'm holding up really well.
Just show them a picture with you and Richard Jefferson. That's it. You'll
Exactly.
be the guy in the room.
Either that or Ric Flair. That'll get everyone going.
Or both. Knock him out.
Exactly.
I gotta show you my Mike Tyson picture sometime.
Just get a T-shirt
What?
with your picture of Richard Jefferson and Ric Flair, and on the back have you and Mike.
Big
Tyson.
Mike Tyson picture.
Yeah.
I tell you though, I will say Mike Tyson might be the nicest guy on the planet.
I believe it.
which is so funny because he's like one of the
Used to
most
beat the
dangerous
shit out
guys.
of everyone. Yeah.
Well, it's funny though because you ever see that there's that clip of like, and I wish we keyed it up, but you ever see that clip where the guy's like, you know, oh, thanks for coming to Toronto, Mike. It's great to have you here. You were hanging out the mayor, Rob Ford, and however, some were critical of the move because you're a convicted rapist. And all of a sudden, you can see Mike just go, and then all of a sudden he goes, I didn't hear anybody say that shit. It's just you're a piece of shit. And he says to the, and the guy, and then he's telling him to go fuck himself, and it's just amazing. If you haven't seen it, you gotta see it because it's phenomenal.
Have you
But that
seen
guy
his-
was shitting his pants by the time.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
If you
I
piss
would
off a guy
not.
like Mike Tyson,
Hell no.
good
Nope.
luck.
And that was my bad attempt at a Russian accent earlier, and then a Mike Tyson accent.
Both were actually pretty good, especially the
think?
Mike
Thank
Tyson one.
you.
Yes,
Thank
honestly.
you.
You definitely got the Tyson lisp down for sure. But have you seen his podcast? The one where like they just smoke a bunch of weed and and talk?
No.
He had who was it? Holyfield that he bit his ear? It was Evander
Yeah.
Holyfield, right?
Yeah.
He had Holyfield on and they talked about it and he finally like apologized for biting his ear. And it was such like an,
damn.
I know, and it was such like an awkward like moment when he was just like, "Man, I'm sorry."
So I'm sorry for biting your ear, man.
I'm sorry.
Alex, check out. I just sent you something to throw up there.
Oh
If you
yeah,
want.
I see it.
Yeah, that's
got a
fine.
lot
I
of
didn't mean to bite your ear.
I really didn't mean to. Here he is. Here's Dennis with Big Mike. There he is. Where
What a
where
guy.
is this?
At the casino.
Ah, okay. Were you doing security at the casino at that time?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was back during my old stomping days.
When you used to hit people and throw them out.
Yeah.
For the money.
Exactly. Before the fame of the pod.
Yes. He's a super nice guy, though.
I don't doubt it at
I
all.
mean, even if he's an asshole, I would never say it because I would get my ass kicked.
He'll find you.
Pull up Neil Neeson and kill you.
I mean, I watched enough videos growing up of him shit stomping people. I'm good.
Yeah.
Him in the movie It Man. Great fight scene.
I think Mike still holds the record for the fastest boxing match.
I don't.
It was
doubt
like 13 or 12 seconds. Like people paid thousands of dollars in Vegas. He walked into the ring, just 3 moves, guy down. He walked off. That was the whole fight.
It's
Come
funny
on,
'cause,
Mike. People
like,
pay
they-
$50 for this. Yeah, it's
Everyone
just
wants-
tired.
Everyone wants to see a knockout. Then the knockout happens that fast, and they're like, "Well, not
Can
that
you, like,
fast."
do it again? But a few rounds later, please.
Exactly. Oh man. Well, we appreciate you joining the show, Dmitry. This is the part where you plug everything you have. Let us know what's going on, and tell the people where they can find you.
Everything I believe you input like the links to my threads or YouTube or whatever, but there is a link tree through any of them, and it's easily to find me. Thank you for having me. I texted you a few days ago when we were chatting. I'm like, I'm actually working on the project right now where I want to compare NBA teams to fast foods, and you two are definitely for the job. So,
Sign me the fuck up for that one.
right? That's what I'm saying. That sounds like I was listening to the Glue Guys. Have you heard of them? The podcast, and that's podcast. So they were like comparing certain teams to soup, and I'm like, soup sounds. It's a good idea. The core of itself is a great, but I feel like fast foods are more relatable. So
Oh yeah.
Especially fat Americans.
exactly. See, exactly. We're already there. So get your list ready. I'm gonna hit you up pretty soon.
I mean, it's ready right now. I can name you 30 off the top of my head.
We'll save it though.
Exactly.
But yeah, thank you for having me. I had a lot
But
of
you
fun.
you ain't making no fucking list until you have one bite of that White Castle burger.
Okay, I'll make it happen.
Thank you.
I promise.
And we need video evidence, and we're gonna put it on the podcast when we have video.
I'll
evidence.
post it on the threads and I'll send it to you so you can plug it on the
There we
pod.
go.
I'm
You said your
going.
wife's
I'm going to.
attractive, so send a video of her eating one too.
Word.
Oh man! On that note, yes.
Do you
like Dmitry
think is
said-
there OnlyFans of like hot chicks eating food, just straight up in
yeah.
clothes,
I read-
like nothing perverted, just like sitting there and eating food?
I read a news article where one of the top earners on OnlyFans is a girl that acts like a dog, fully clothed, everything, acts like a dog, and like her husband, boyfriend, whatever, like walks her on a leash and everything. So there's definitely ones of people just eating food.
We should do that. 3 of us, just 3 guys eating food on OnlyFans and writing expenses off.
I was gonna
Yes.
say, I thought you meant walk around like a dog. I'm like, I ain't signing up for that.
No, fuck
No,
that
no,
shit.
no, no, no.
Eating food.
Yeah. Then every meal becomes a write-off. So
Right? Exactly. That's part of a job.
I'm in. I'm down. For everyone listening and watching, in the bio, in the description, you'll find all the links to find Dmitry and the Loose Ball Boys. So make sure you check that out. You'll see us both on threads all the time.
Too much.
So yes, seriously.
You won't
check
see
us
me
out
'cause
there.
I don't know what the fuck it is. So
You'll
yeah.
see Dennis on here, and that's probably about it.
right.
Yeah.
Or at his barbershop, because that's where he's at every
Went
few-
yesterday.
There you go. Looking sharp.
Oh, yeah.
We love to see it. As you can see, Dmitry and I probably aren't going to the barbershop that much.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm doing it myself. I started saving money.
Yeah. Yep, that's where I'm at.
Hell yeah.
But that is it for us. So thank you everybody for listening and watching another episode of The Atlantic Files, the #1 podcast on the #1 division in the NBA. Check us out everywhere you get your podcast: Spotify, Apple, Google, YouTube. Subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, let you know when we go live. We appreciate it, and we will catch everybody next week for episode 302.